You are listening to the Eskimo Empire Podcast, a proud member of the Canadian Football Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Empire. It's the Eskimo Empire Podcast.
This is Trevor Harris.
Hey, how you doing? This is number 58, Travis Bond.
This is Christoph Malomba Chimanga.
Hey there, this is your co-host, Kenny Stafford.
Hey, this is Ryan King.
Calvin McCarty.
And you are listening to...
You're listening to the Eskimos Empire.
Listening to the Eskimo Empire Podcast.
The Eskimo Empire Podcast. Hope you guys enjoy listening.
Welcome back to the Turf District for the Eskimo Empire Podcast, and we are a proud member of the Alberta Podcast Network powered by ATB. I'm Andrew, and with me are my buddies, Superfan Mike.
Hey, buddy.
And Commissioner Kayla.
Hey, booty.
What the heck was that?
Waiting for her to say, hey, bud.
I know, yeah.
It's abbreviate the whole thing.
I think
God.
you abbreviate more than I do.
Oh, guaranteed.
He does it on purpose.
Yes.
That's the difference. You just do it
only in this room.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I don't even know what I abbreviate. Like,
totes.
Yeah.
well, yeah, that's...
Yeah. You do that
Obs.
one quite a...
Whatevs.
That one just makes me cringe.
I think totes is just, yeah.
Well, how was your bye week, you guys?
Yeah.
That was a question to you guys.
Really? Well, I wasn't sure. I thought ladies
I thought
first.
it was a statement.
No, how was your bye week? That sounds like a question to me.
Bye week.
Yes.
And, yeah, great.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was a very sort of chill weekend, which I kind of like. Both my football teams were on the bye.
Oh, I see. So you watch no football?
No, I watched football.
Okay.
I just wasn't nearly as invested.
Okay.
I'm like, hey, this is kind of fun.
Yeah.
And mine is undefeated without Drew Brees.
Wow.
Oh, that is true.
5-0 with Mr. Teddy Bridgewater.
Wow.
There is
Ruxpin.
no troubled water over this bridge.
Ruxpin.
Excuse me, just blew it.
I kind of like that, actually. That's a little funny. Yeah.
He's also undefeated.
Also, many years undefeated.
Well, yeah, he's a raccoon. He's a thief.
No, he's a bear.
Teddy Ruxpin is a bear.
Wait,
Yeah.
who's the raccoons? Remember those 3 raccoons?
Yeah, the Raccoons was a show.
That was what it was called, yes.
What were their names?
I have no idea.
Alvin Simon. No, that's not it.
No, those are chipmunks.
Well,
Close, though.
Close.
Yeah.
I was thinking colorful
There's somebody
shirts.
named Sid in it somewhere. I know
Sid.
that. I know there was a Sid.
Is that
no,
the
Cyril.
guy?
Cyril Sneer.
Yeah, with the,
Yes,
there
the
we go.
nose.
That's,
yeah.
yes.
Oh, I want to
The
watch that
nose.
show now.
No, well, you're welcome. Yeah, are you going to sing the theme song?
Do I know it?
Oh,
Something.
it's going
something.
I think it's like very 80s, like fast, like...
I'm sure that's
No
what it is.
Fraggle
Adventurous.
Rock, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, she's looking it up now.
No, I'm not.
Oh, I was waiting for another tugboat situation here.
Doesn't hold the place Theodore does.
That's right, yeah.
So where Matt Praise like, come on!
Please sing it. That's right. I'd like to say happy voting day.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
I'm always happy to vote.
It's
Hey.
always yeah, exactly. Even if you don't, your team. I was going to say that's not right.
Teams. So it's appropriate for this, though.
Particular party. I think it's
Team party.
It's great that we can vote.
Yeah,
I like team parties.
I do like the idea of voting. I just wish it wasn't for which pile of garbage is the smallest. That would be
That's politics.
That's not my thing. Kayla, you and I were lucky enough to go to the Bears game on Saturday.
Yes, you're welcome for the invite.
Yes, I do appreciate it. And then Ryan invited us to the tailgate, which was outstanding. It was great fun.
Yeah.
Usually when you say Ryan and tailgate, I have a very different mental image.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Oh,
but
yeah.
yes, but
well, there was some beardness.
this is Ryan Dahlke.
Yes.
Yes, but
Is he a ginger?
No.
Is he a villain?
No, he's not a villain.
Well, then,
no, he's not a villain.
We like him.
That's true. No, it was great. Great spread and lots of nice people and all the recruits too for 2020, which was kind of neat.
Cool.
Yeah, that was really, really a neat spot to go and do that. So
They're pretty fun to go to.
yeah, I thought it was a blast. Yeah, awesome. Well, we have a few things to get to this evening, so
Woo-hoo.
let's start
busy
with
bye week.
for us. Yes, let's start with this episode. Is brought to you in part by the TELUS World of Science Edmonton, home of the Canadian debut of Marvel Universe of Superheroes.
Oh my!
Exactly. The exhibition runs October 19th to February 27th and features more than 300 artifacts, costumes, props, and interactive elements to bring the Marvel Universe to life.
But no life forms?
Well, I'm sure there are life forms.
No. Life forms.
I don't know why you're...
Not a video podcast.
No, I didn't. I'm not understanding that.
No, Chris Evans, I get it.
Oh, no, okay, I got it. All right, perfect. No Chris Evans. That's
or
true.
Hemsworth or...
No, none of the... No, but I'm sure there's likenesses. There you go.
Yeah.
Celebrate the 80th anniversary of Marvel by traveling mysterious mirror dimension of Doctor Strange, digitally transform into Iron Man, or posing with Black Panther for a selfie.
I can't wait. I'm going in a couple weeks. So.
It's so exciting. If you're coming from out of town, there is a hotel deal on the website as well. Get your tickets, as this is the only place in Canada right now to see the exhibit. Visit telusworldofscienceedmonton.ca.
That's a really fun place to do things.
I can't wait to go.
As soon as I saw that was our ad this week, I was giddy.
Yes.
Yay! This is something I'm so exciting to talk about this. So exciting? I'm so excited to talk about this.
You are so exciting.
Yeah. Excited. Yes. But yes, I'm excited to go see this.
You are wearing a new outfit.
I am wearing my new outfit?
No, that's when you're exciting.
Oh, when... Nice.
I thought you were going to say he has a Marvel costume hidden in his closet or something.
Well, no. Did you guys pick out Halloween costumes yet?
No.
No? Mike?
Nope.
I'm going to go as Superfan Mike.
Nice.
Are you?
No. But I thought that was
I want to see the beard and you holding all of these green and gold things like this.
Like Smaug the dragon with his horde.
That is an excellent reference.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do appreciate that. That was good. No, I did. I got, I'm going as a glow-in-the-dark stick man.
Outstanding.
So that I can take the boys out, because it's always fun to...
Well, now that your back's ready, you go as one of those inflatable guys.
I was thinking about that, but those are too expensive.
Again, not a video podcast, but still.
Yeah, everyone gets the idea.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about some Eskimos news, shall we? We're 7 minutes in. We should probably talk some football. T-Sniper activated off the 6th game.
That is expected, but great news.
Yes, absolutely.
There should be some, Iron Man... little... Oh, wait, that's like Transformers.
That was...
And again, without the video, that's going to sound awesome.
It doesn't even matter. The sound effects were outstanding.
I was thinking of Wonder Woman with the bracelets, but
Power
Rangers?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was my ringtone for a really long time.
Oh, outstanding.
That's fantastic.
Right.
Oh, so many titles of the podcast.
That was Andrew's wallpaper, so there, it worked out well.
I don't blame
we have that
you.
in common. Yeah. Oh my. Yes. So T-Sniper will see some action this week. We're title of podcast. What do you guys think? Should he play the whole game? Part of the game?
Not
what do you think?
Should he versus will he?
Okay, let's go with should starting.
I think he needs to play as much as he feels he needs to get back into that rhythm.
Right.
And if he feels he needs to play the whole game, then it's up to the guy calling the plays to make sure he's in the least danger possible.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
While still giving him the reps. If you start seeing some blitzes coming, just hand that ball off till they start backing off.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, or a screen or whatever. Just back them off somehow.
It's swing plays. Those work so well for us.
Really?
Nope.
Yeah, nope.
And it depends, too, how the game is going. I mean, if we're crushing the hopes and the spirits of the riders...
Great, then just keep doing it.
Yeah.
I like your positivity on that.
Oh, my gosh. As much as I love seeing the stadium full, sometimes I'm just like, God, we have to go through this again.
Yeah, I get it. We shall see.
We've already got our token rider fans.
Well, it's for some reason where I sit, like the section over, which used to be like the really cheap seats on the top. There's always fights.
Oh, really?
Up, like over and up a little bit, all the time.
Oh, my.
Every Riders game, there's always fights up there.
I got my friend Don's coming in. He's from Saskatchewan.
Tell him to stay away from that section.
He is not starting in fact, he told me where he was sitting, and I'm like, row 34? Yeah. Those are my seats last year.
Yeah, that's
kind of cool.
Safe.
That's very cool. Well,
Yeah.
I'm in the family section, so I don't think there'll be as many fights over
Yeah,
there.
maybe I might
Should be all right.
transition.
Just you
down
and
there,
Chad.
yeah.
Yeah, Chad is going to be my my new seat buddy.
That's right.
Next year. I'm very excited about that. It's going to be outstanding. Yeah. Now, Eskimos did also make a release this week. They released wide receiver Danny Vandervoort.
We hardly knew ye.
That's very true. And in the last part of the Esks news is that the East crossover is now confirmed because the Riders beat BC last
Right.
week. So we have lots to do to prep for Montreal.
Lots.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now, did you guys actually see the EE3 membership privileges that they put out, the little screenshot? I was actually kind of impressed.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that's listing on there, exclusive clothing and an exclusive EE3 event, discount on concession items.
Yeah.
Was it
Not a
emailed
bad thing.
though?
It was emailed, and it was in on the news page as well. Front of the line access for stadium events.
Oh,
Like
that's
that.
pretty dope.
I'm all right with that. Yeah, exactly. So lots of good reasons to be part of EE3, and I guess they're having a flash sale that's going to start on October 29th and go for 72 hours.
Yep.
People who are already signed up will get the price discount.
Yes.
Excellent.
So that's kind of exciting. So
Yeah,
think
I was
that-
surprised when I saw my season ticket renewal. I'm like, how much was it last year? Seems cheaper. Hey,
Yeah.
it is.
Hey, neato.
Yeah. I will
Nothing
take
wrong
it.
with that. So time to join the club.
Exactly. Join us all.
I got an
One of us.
email that says complete your purchase. Damn you, don't tell me to spend more.
You're very popular for that there.
Oh
Ken.
my god. Every time I go, I need to stop going on that
On
website.
that, yeah. Well, why would you want to do that? Well, let's look forward as far as the EE3 membership, but also let's look forward with the club and kind of what's to come. And right now we are joined by the new president of the Eskimo Football Club, Chris Presson. Welcome to Edmonton and to the Turf District, and thanks for taking the time to chat with us.
Well, thanks for having me.
I want to get to kind of your first impressions. You've been here now for kind of on the job for almost 2 months, and what's the first couple of months been like for you?
You know what? It's probably the busiest I've ever been in all the years that I've worked in sports. I can honestly say that my days have gone quicker than anywhere that I've ever been because they're busier than anywhere I've ever been, and that's a good thing. So anytime you have meetings every hour on the hour, just about every day, it certainly gets you up to speed quickly and consumes your day really fast.
I bet, and yet here we are. That's good. I'm glad we fit into that. Let's start with, I guess, kind of the obvious question. What drew you to Edmonton and to leading the Esks into the foreseeable future?
Well, I think it's the city and the people within the city. Certainly the organization as a whole is very well thought of as well. Has been the flagship of the CHL for a number of years. And while I didn't follow the CFL regularly, certainly knew enough about it, knew enough about various teams to have piqued my interest. And so those are the main reasons. And when you look at and the tenure of the league, certainly that made me comfortable as well. And yeah, it was an opportunity I just couldn't pass up.
That's very cool. So you said you've sort of been learning about the CFL. What have you been learning in the last couple of months since you started?
I think more than anything, just the scope of the business, the lay of the land within Edmonton, and then certainly some of the rules as well. How many Canadian players you have to have on your team, how many starters there have to be in the lineup, what happens if one of them gets injured, do you have to replace them with another Canadian, for example, and those are all very delicate intricacies that are specific to the league that I want to make sure that I'm gaining knowledge of. And then just the salary cap, what that looks like from a CFLPA standpoint, and then just my overall coworkers as well.
Well, that's awesome. I was going to say, I've been watching the CFL for 10 years, and I'm still learning that stuff, so I can imagine what your notebook must look like right now. Did you play football or sports yourself growing up, and when did you start into team executive positions?
I did. I played just about every sport imaginable
Nice.
growing up until I got to college, and I'm still a sports freak by nature. I like every sport at every level, and any sport I like to watch. And So that's how I got into it. I started as an intern in 1992 with the minor league hockey team and ended up parlaying that into a full-time job. And, I had a goal of going from the very top as the very bottom as an unpaid intern to the very top as a general manager in 6 years. And knock on wood, I was able to do it in 5 right out of the gate.
Wow.
So
Nice.
from that point on, I have had various opportunities to go various places, and it just continued to develop along the way.
Wow, that's incredible when you work all the way up like that. Now, you were talking about your previous experience, and I know you're with the Arizona Rattlers before, so I guess you're kind of used to working with a team that could be the quote-unquote second draw to the big, I guess in that city it was the big NFL team. Here it could be the Oilers. Do you see that kind of as a similar situation here, or do you find that it's a bit different?
It's really different. There I was competing with 4 major league teams, the Waste Management Phoenix Open Golf Tournament, the Super Bowl, or the Final Four, seemingly every other year as well, and a multitude of other pro sports teams, including a WNBA team and a professional soccer team as well. So we had our hands full there. Yeah, we were able to carve a nice little niche for ourselves, and certainly we have a stronger brand here than we did there. So things are really vastly different. The city there in Phoenix, where I'm coming from, is much larger, and while this is still a large market here in Edmonton, the competition is not quite as great. Our brand identity is better, and the city itself is smaller compared to where I'm coming from.
Okay.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
So the Eskimos, of course, have a rich tradition and history. For instance, the fire truck you've probably seen going around when we score, that's back again after quite a while away. So how do you see, when moving forward, balancing appealing to the new fans while still keeping those traditions alive for the long-term fan?
That's a great question, probably the hardest question for the reasons you mentioned. We have a very rich tradition fan base, a fan base that's generational. And certainly that's, as an executive running a team, that's what you're looking for. By the same time, we have to make it interesting enough for the younger group to attend our games. And it's interesting you asked the question, because I was working on notes today for that very reason and trying to come up with things that I thought would work. And I made 4 pages of notes. None of it may work, but at least I've got a framework of some things and some ideas that I have. But from a tradition standpoint, with the fire truck and the fight song, those have to stay. There's nothing that can ever displace those, in my opinion. And then we have to find a way to balance that with better activations at our games for the fan to engage in.
Well, I think 4 pages is a great start. I don't know about you guys.
It's pretty impressive.
Not bad.
So going off that, then, what is the plan over the coming months as you start in this new role?
Well, we're in the midst of our strategic planning for 2020 as we speak. It's about a 2 to 3 month process that we just began actually last week. So, we report to a board, and we have had several meetings with our board and laid out a plan for how we plan to finish the scope of work that goes into what we do in order to plan for the 2020 season. And we have a meeting tomorrow and many meetings coming over the next 3 months. And then we'll sit together as an executive team internally here next Monday to come up with ideas that we think will work, that we think will pique the interest of our customer. And then it's about formulating a plan to execute on those items as well.
Awesome. Yeah. So we were actually just talking earlier about the EE3 program and how it seems to be kind of getting beefed up this year. Do you see that as a big starting point, actually?
Yeah, I do, because the EE3 is the core ticket, right? It's a longer term commitment. We're asking you to commit for 3 years because it helps us to better manage our business. If we know that for 3 years we have a certain segment of our fan base that's committed, it's a bit easier to manage our business. And one of the disparities that we noticed in going through everything from last season and the year prior to that was that we didn't have a great enough disparity between the EE3 programs and some of the others. So we try to beef up the novelty items and the accoutrements around that to provide better value. And, in this day and age, it's not, what can you do and what have you done for me lately? It's about how can I get the greatest satisfaction right now. And so how do we, again, balance the older generation of fan with better accoutrements, and then how do we engage the younger fan as we move forward? As you look at it, most millennials or Gen X, they don't want to commit to a full season. So what offerings can we come out with that will engage them for 2 or 3 games?
Awesome.
Well, speaking for millennials, well, myself, I'm committed. So you got one on board.
That's awesome.
No, I just wanted to say one of the things that I appreciated, I'm not sure if they did it last year, I don't recall, but the surveys that we get emailed out after every game, or most games.
That's been this year,
yeah, just identifying things that we liked, we didn't like, etc. Like, I think that's a really good step in the right direction as well.
Yeah, well, thank you. And I think, one of the biggest ways to increase our fan base and to keep the existing fan base is to understand who our fan is. And so that's a big part of that. We have to learn how to market to the fan, and if we don't know who the fan is that's coming to our games, it makes it certainly more challenging to get the proper messaging. The way, we would deliver messaging to me and the way we would deliver messaging to you should be distinctly different, and that's a part of the educational process with the surveys.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Now, I heard an interesting rumor that you were talking about possibly looking at moving the tailgate to a spot where it'd be a little more accessible. I know you've been down to the tailgate. Tell us what you think about that atmosphere and how we think we might be able to kind of build on that.
I think it's great. I was here for an interview, actually, for the first BC game, the Mike Riley return game, and I was down at the tailgate area that game. Certainly the weather at the beginning of the game, or I should say pregame, wasn't very good, so there weren't many people out. Now, once I accepted the position and I took the job and was here and I went back down there, the weather was much nicer. There were many, many more people. And as I look at that, I think we're on the wrong side of the stadium. We ideally need to be on the northeast corner, not the northwest corner. There's not a lot of attraction on the northwest side, and while it's a convenient parking space, it doesn't do us or really the fan any good because there's no atmosphere over there. So ideally, we'd like to get it over on the other side of the stadium, on the other corner, because that's where traffic is. That's where the noticeability is. That's where people are getting off the LRT to come to the games. That's where we have our pregame bands. And so that's where the excitement is and should be. And now it's just a matter of, can we make that work? Can we reconfigure what we're doing to go over there? The answer is yes. Can we get cooperation from the municipalities around that area to allow us to do it? That's yet to be seen.
Oh, that's outstanding. And I knew you were at the tailgate at the Return Classic because you were recording with Morley at our tailgate spot. So that is true. And you're always welcome to come by and get some free food.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Now, let's. Last question that I had was: I want to ask you some stuff about you outside of football, but inside of football, you said you're getting here and you're kind of learning all of your teammates. And how has that been now, having to, when you kind of come into a position like this and you've got a guy like Brock Sunderland as the GM and Jason Moss as the head coach? How's that been working for you, and what's that like?
Yeah, it's a challenge to get up to speed so quickly. I would say the biggest challenge for my position as a whole when you're trying to get up to speed as quickly as you can is you're sincerely getting a batch of new information every hour. So you're meeting with someone different every hour that represents a different department every hour that has a different set of information they want to share with you every hour. So it's about retaining that information from hour to hour, day to day, week to week, and month to month. So that's what I've been up against thus far. And then it's not just getting to know Brock and Jason, the coaches. It's also getting to know the 50 employees we have on the front office side, who they are, what they do, how long they've been there, where are they from, what are they interested in. So I've spent the better part of almost 3 weeks now really interviewing every one of my coworkers, and I'm down to maybe 3 or 4 coaches are the only ones I have left to interview, and I will have spoken directly to everyone in the company for at least 15 minutes. So again, a part of my educational process, a part of me learning about the company and about the people so that I know what makes them tick, and so ultimately I know what will make it work for us as a team.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, now I got a few kind of lightning round ones for you here. These are just more about so we get to know you.
Sure.
What do you like to do when you're not around football?
I like to watch sports.
Good. That's a good pick. Pick sports in general. That sounds pretty much like all of us here. Do you have a favorite food?
Oh, I'm such a steak and potatoes guy because I'm from the state of Oklahoma.
That's a great food choice.
Yeah, exactly. You're winning fans here. You're all good. What's your favorite place to travel?
Really anywhere. I think the most favorite place of mine would be New York, just because of the energy.
Oh, nice. Okay. Do you have a favorite movie?
Oh, I'm such a bad movie person because I only watch sports, but if I had to pick one and it would be in the realm of sports, I would probably pick Rudy.
Oh, great movie. Great one. Good. It's the right sport too. That's wonderful.
That's right.
What's on your iPod? What do you like to listen to for music-wise?
I like to listen to everything except the hard rock. I love country music. Again, I'm from the state of Oklahoma. I love some classic rock, not all of it. I love pop, and my wife and I have 3 teenage daughters, so for me to not understand the pop culture would be a huge miss on my part.
I have one of those teenage daughters, and she introduces me to something new almost every week, so I totally get it.
Yeah, I understand that all too well.
Excellent. All right, Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Nice. Sweet or salty snacks?
Sweet.
Oh, nice. All right, now this is a bit of a curveball one, but we like to ask everybody this one. If you had 1 hour to spend with anyone just to sit and talk, who would it be and why?
I'll stay out of what I really want to say only because it's religious, and I would pick someone like Tom Landry because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. He would probably be someone that I would go to, and Michael Jordan. I'm a huge Michael Jordan fan. I grew up loving Michael Jordan, still love Michael Jordan, so he actually would probably take over Tom Landry.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that on a number of levels. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us. And of course, the next time, you're always welcome to come down to the Turf District and we'll have some beers and talk some more football. But we'll wait until you have a little more time and not a meeting every hour for that.
Yeah, well, I sure do appreciate the invite, and thanks for your patience with me and for having me on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And are you like a social media guy, or do we just find you at games, or what's the best way for fans to connect with you?
Yeah, just find me at games. I'm not on social media at all.
Probably smart.
Which I know is an anomaly in this day and age, but I'm not on any social media platform, so just find me at games or send me an email.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming, and best of luck as you get used to everything and in the off season, and we will see you around at Tailgate.
Thanks so much.
Well, that was an awesome chat with Presson. I'm excited. He's taken the time to chat with guys and get some feel of kind of what's going on in the city and the feel for the team.
Good start.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he says all the right things for sure. He's been, we've seen some things changing even in the short time he's been here. And I like the direction we're going in.
Well, and the fact that he actually would go around the stadium and was it the S store that sent out emails that you can beat him and chat with him? And then if not, he's going to be at this gate. Right. That's also very brave of him.
Yeah, but good. Get connected and find out how do we get more people here, right? So that's a big thing. And I hope we get to see him more at tailgates sometime soon. So let's take a really quick break right now, and we will come back with this week's CFPN Game Preview and our pick'ems and fantasy picks.
This is Trevor Harris, and you're listening to the Eskimos Empire Podcast.
You can join the Empire online.
Find us at eskempire.ca.
Check out all the new blogs, and then follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
For more history, follow at Esks History on Twitter.
And even more of my picks on Esk Empire Photo.
Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to help the pod grow. Thanks again for listening. Let's get back to the show. Welcome back. This episode is also brought to you by the Alberta Forest Products Association.
If you're an Albertan, chances are you love our forests. With more than 60% of the province covered in them, they're where we play, explore, and work. Over 40,000 Albertans are employed because of our sustainable forestry industry. And before a single tree is harvested, we plan 200 years ahead to ensure healthy forests for years to come. Why? Because you nurture what you love.
Learn more at loveabforests.ca.
Now it's time for the CFPN Game Preview. The Esks are back on the brick field at Commonwealth Stadium this Saturday at 5. The tailgate should open then around 2:30.
Yes, sir.
And will feature
bacon, mac, and cheese.
Ooh, my. The dulcet tones along with the bacon, mac, and cheese is very exciting.
That's all so exciting.
Some jalapenos to sprinkle on top.
Oh, jalapenos to bring. Really?
You've never had jalapeno mac and cheese?
I don't know, because I don't have that. I don't have jalapenos. They don't like me.
You do have bacon, though.
I do have bacon.
Spicy doesn't like him.
Yeah, Spiky does. Yeah.
Spiky?
Spiky does. Spiky don't like me. God.
Spiky don't play that.
It's a little brutal talking time this evening. All right. Yeah, Spicy's doesn't always sit nicely with me.
The gin loosens the tongue. What can you say?
Sure does.
Yeah.
Yummy. Jim Smash.
Jim.
Let's cut that out, please. That's horrible.
No, that is...
That's the title of the podcast.
Jim Smash?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that like Hulk, but different?
Yeah. You can be with JIM or GYM.
GYM, I think. Yeah. Sure. It's probably what it is. All right, so yes, the tailgate should open at 2:30. We will have the early game on as well,
yes,
so
sir.
that we can get in some football before we go watch some more football, because that is a grand Saturday.
That's one of the best Saturdays.
Absolutely.
And who is our predecessor? No. Predecessor? No, that's after.
Who's the early game?
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry? Oh, who's the early... Good Lord, I'm like... That question is completely... I'm totally lost.
Oh, no. Not cutting any
Not at all. No. Ottawa, Toronto. So it's going to be a humdinger.
So
yes, sir.
It's another double Friday?
Double Friday.
Double Friday. Yeah,
Okay.
double Friday, double Saturday. So nice. Ottawa, Toronto is the early game. So that'll be... well,
it'll be a game.
It's exactly
legally
question
football.
Mark?
Yeah, legally speaking, it will be a game.
It'll be something.
Excellent. That's all we're excited about. The Uncle BD stats moment is very cool, and he shared it only with us so that we could have it solely for the podcast. So thank you, Uncle BD.
The premiere.
There has been 4 seasons that the Oilers have achieved the number of Esks regular season wins before the Esks regular season has finished.
Wow.
This is one of them.
Wow.
So they have tied.
That's good and bad.
Kind of, yes. There has been 7 seasons that it took the Oilers... Well, the Oilers achieved the number of Esks regular season wins, but after December 31st of the same year. So either the Esks are doing not so great this year or the Oilers are doing really well. But I think I'm going to go with Oilers really well right now.
Yeah, I mean, they are.
They are, yeah.
Who saw us being 7-2?
Yeah.
Or 7-1 and 0-1.
7-1, 0-1.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it is?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no.
I think it's... I think the whole loser points.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, we get 1 point. Kind of, yeah.
Just like the reason they introduced the extra loser point is so that they wouldn't have ties. Well, they don't have ties anymore, so why are you bothering?
So why did you... Yeah, exactly.
Or make all games 3 points.
Right. I agree. Just make it more even. Anyway, it's interesting to see how well they're doing. I finally picked the season. I'm like, that's it. I'm not watching it anymore, and now they do well. Fine. Good for them.
Well, thank you for taking one for the team.
You know what? I'm trying to help. That's what I've been trying to do. But that is a very, very cool stat. That it is. That when you know that one team is kind of picking up the ball and the other team is starting to shoot the puck. Hey, look at that. They're both onside. Now, before we get started with the Esks side, let's go to the Riders side of the ball, and we welcome back our good friend from both the CFPN and the Alberta Podcast Network from the 2 and Out CFL podcast. It's our good friend Travis. How's it going, man?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. Yeah. We love chatting with you guys. I know we have to talk Riders and stuff, but still, I still like talking to you.
So the right shade of green, right?
Well, you're talking to the right shade of green. You're right. Yes. Yeah. Before we get too much into the game, I know it's already sold out, but tell people about the big live event at Grey Cup again.
Oh, well, you know what? The one in Edmonton, I thought went off so well that we had to do something in Calgary. And then the way things have gone, we're going to have so much fun again. I think the only thing I'm going to reveal is that in Edmonton, we did the pierogi eating contest against Zach Evans of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, where I was, of course, victorious. And then the next night, he said, I want the rematch next year, and I want it to be brisket. So there is going to be a brisket eating competition. Now, there is a real threat that the Riders could be in the Grey Cup, so that will probably change plans. But Fallon is the general manager at Booker's Barbecue Grill in Calgary, and she wanted to take part in this brisket eating contest. So at least it's going to be me against her, who she's apparently a certified barbecue judge. She's got the certification, and I'm just good at eating. So it's going to be interesting to see how this matches up. If Zach can't go, we'll try to get another player up there. But we're raising money for CFL Fans Fight Cancer. We're previewing the 107th Grey Cup. That's only a couple days away at that point. But November 21st, it's going to be fun at Booker's. It is sold out, but people can book their table there. I think they can make a reservation at the bar. They just want to have a spot in front of the stage like all of the other the ticket holders there for the event. But I'm looking forward to the live show in Calgary for sure.
Oh, I can't wait. Last year was a blast, and this is going to be amazing. So I'm really looking forward to it for sure. So, all right, let's get into our game this week. So the first time, it's taken a very long time, but here we are, week 20, and the Eskimos and Riders are finally meeting face-to-face, and the first battle happens at Commonwealth Stadium. Tell us a little bit about your opinions. I mean, the interesting thing is Cody Fajardo, I guess, is the one quarterback that stayed the healthiest throughout this entire year. Tell us about his performance this year and the offense.
Well, shocked is what I will say. Because I thought that this team, and I think a lot thought that the Riders would have been in real trouble if and when Zach Collaros got hurt. But Cody Fajardo stepped in, and during the first game way back when, he looked okay. But then as soon as he started getting the practice reps, and this team was basically his the moment they traded Zach Collaros to Toronto, he's been nothing short of incredible. It's been a while since the Rider offense has instilled any sort of confidence in the fan base, but they move the ball. There seems to be a different receiver that steps up every game. They can run the ball. I know we talk about Chris Streveler being able to run the ball in Winnipeg, but Fajardo has right around 600 yards rushing himself. So wow. He's a tough quarterback. He can run the ball. And I think the best part about him is that he might be one of the most likable guys in the CFL. I don't think anybody has a bad word to say about Cody Fajardo. Like over Thanksgiving weekend, his vehicle got broken into, and then he just said, well, I guess they needed that stuff more than I did. Have a good Thanksgiving. Like, he's the nicest guy, I think, that the Riders have, and maybe the league has right now. And he's been fun to watch, even if it was surprising at first. And now, at this point of the season, you almost kind of expect a good performance from him and the Rider offense.
Yeah, no, I would agree. And it makes it increasingly hard to not like him because he's a Rider, because he's such a nice guy. I agree. And I know you and I have chatted about this a long time, and I did say I would make a better effort to try and not totally hate them once Chris Jones left, so I'm trying to get better at that. And Fajardo's helping. He's helping immensely. Let's switch around to the other side of the ball for a second. The defense started out a bit slower, and of course losing Chris Jones, but still maintaining, of course, Shivers, who was there in the years before. They've kind of started to come into their own. Is there a player on the defense that really has kind of stood out for you with all the names that are on there?
Well, I think the secondary sort of as a unit has really come together. At the beginning of the year, They had Solomon Means, who was kind of struggling at cornerback. And then they made the switch to LJ McCray. And ever since then, the entire unit with Ed Gainey and Nick Marshall, Luchez Purifoy, and Mike Edom at safety, they've been a really solid group. But I think the player that's really stood out, other than Charleston Hughes, who has 15 sacks again on the year, is Solomon Elimimian, because at the beginning of the year when he signed, he wasn't able to get in any practices during training camp. He had a calf injury. He didn't get into a game until a few weeks into the season. And now it's like just like the Solomon Elimimian that we've seen in BC for so many years. He's got 82 tackles.
Wow.
He actually could get 100 tackles on the year, which he's only played 13 games.
That's crazy.
To have that anchor in the middle of the defense and to have a reliable middle linebacker, he has become a leader there. At the beginning of the year, Craig Dickinson didn't name any team captains, and Elimimian said, I just want to sort of earn my spot on this team. He was named one of the captains. He has the respect of everybody else on that defense and that team, and he's playing just like we expect Solomon Elimimian to play, and I think that signing has really worked out for the Riders.
Wow. Yeah, I can't disagree with you on that one. It's amazing when they all start to come together, right? And kind of play at the same level. Let's go into, what do you think are the keys to the game this week for the Riders to take the victory against the Eskimos?
Well, I think it's pretty tough to run the ball on Edmonton. With that front seven, it can be pretty tough to make things happen, especially now that all the linebackers are healthy. And but I think that the Riders are able to do that with William Powell, as long as they're willing to give him the ball. It's been kind of puzzling the way that they've used Powell. You'd think a guy like that would get 15 to 20 carries a game. He did. Well, I guess that sounds familiar to you in Edmonton, right?
Very much so, yes. Last year, yeah, did it all.
They gave Powell the ball 15 times against BC, and he ended up having a 100-yard game and a touchdown. So I would like to see more of that. The offensive line, they continue to come together. They had some veterans just come back from injury in Brendan Labatt and Philip Blake, but the young guys filled in all season long pretty well. So they have depth there. But there was Dan Clark that ended up getting hurt last week. He played center, so they moved Labatt over to center. It'll be interesting to see how they juggle that. Is Labatt going to play center again, or are they going to move somebody else? And, of course, that's an important part of the offensive line. If you can't snap the ball properly, then nothing else really, really goes well. But I would like to see them gel and run the ball and be able to control the clock against Edmonton. But that being said, there's a lot of offensive weapons that have been really coming on. Naaman Roosevelt has been able to put together another nice season. Shaq Evans, some call him the best receiver in the league. I don't think I'm quite there yet,
himself,
but all of a sudden there are some weapons in the Rider offense, but I think I want to see the ground game get committed to a little bit more in Edmonton at Commonwealth Stadium, because I've been going to games at Commonwealth Stadium for far too long, and as a fan, my win-loss record at Commonwealth cheering on the Riders is well under 500. I'll say that.
Well, it can stay that way this week.
Pretty.
Come on. Yeah.
And it just might. I would not be surprised.
Well, dude, we always appreciate your insight as far as the Riders and, of course, all the things across the CFL. Plug your show so everybody knows where they can get all the amazing fantasy tips and hear you and Ty banter back and forth.
I think I need your fantasy tips because You're the guy. I've come on after Labor Day, but I think I need to copy your picks before Labor Day because, man, you got out to a nice lead.
I did. I'm hanging on tooth and nail.
But our show comes out. Yeah, you just basically copied my picks last week with one change out. So
see,
that helps you a little bit.
Sure did.
But our show comes out twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays. Yes, we are overachievers. No, I don't sleep much, but after Grey Cup, I will get some sleep in. At 2 and Out CFL on Twitter. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, all of that stuff. So follow us on Twitter, and you'll get all the updates on our show coming out every Monday and Thursday.
Awesome. And usually at this point, I would wish you the best of luck next week. But being that this is a back-to-back, good luck in the playoffs.
Good luck in the playoffs to you as well, because you're going east.
That we are. All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate all the help.
See you in the Grey Cup then.
Yeah, absolutely. We will. All right, thanks to Travis. That was outstanding as always. Always fun to chat with him when both him and I are giggling back and forth at each other. It's wonderful.
It's true.
Yeah.
He's got a heck of a giggle.
Yeah. He does, yes. Let's talk about the Esks side of the ball. So keys to the game for this one to take down the Riders this week. Let's start with you. No, let's not, because of the face you're giving me.
Oh, no. Like, do you want my essay or...
Sure. Yes.
Hang on a second.
As long as it's not written, because this is, again, not a video podcast.
Here, yeah.
But if you...
It's pantomime.
Excellent.
Well, the defense definitely has to step up a little bit more ferociously, especially with Cody coming off one heck of a year, man.
And a new contract.
Can you, I saw that today.
Yeah.
Congratulations to him. It's hard to dislike that guy.
No,
really, come
I agree.
on. Yeah.
As a person, absolutely.
I said that to Travis,
I can hate him as a player, though.
Oh, well,
yeah.
See, I'm just like...
Why do you have to be so nice?
Yes.
Yeah. And then wear the wrong shade of green. Anyway.
Wow.
Language.
The mouth on her.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, you know what? I'm not going to do my essay. One thing, a key thing, well, this goes for all games, but especially this one. Oh my gosh, can we please score? Find the end zone?
Yeah, it's
more
important.
than...
Name of the podcast.
Speaking of prostitutes, freebies.
which was cut out.
Like, you can cut that. Anyway. It's weird today, guys.
Just got that right at the beginning. Can we please score? Well.
Sorry, Mom.
Well done. Well, yes, that is a key to the game, though. I would agree with you. I'm bringing it back on track now.
Excellent.
I mean, like, come on. There's got to be a time when we actually start gelling, like Jellingson, like who actually had a few yards. What, 133?
Last game?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even remember. I know it was well over 100, but...
I think it was somewhere around there. So that's good that he actually has some chemistry with Logan. But, I mean, we can't just keep relying on one person, one game. Like, we have to diversify. What happened to the beginning of the season where we were on fire? What happened? We need that back because we're just going to get annihilated in the playoffs.
Yeah, well...
If they don't find a way to click again.
Yeah, we're going up against a tough defense for
Very
sure.
Tough defense.
We are.
In the Riders. So, do you have some keys there, Mike?
Yeah, 3 words.
Sure.
Protect Trevor Harris.
Please.
He's coming back off an injury, and we're going up, as you say, against a really stout defense.
Yes.
We got to make sure he stays upright and clean.
Should just put him in one of those bubbles. You know,
it makes it hard to throw the ball.
It does.
I mean, you could just shoot it out.
Yeah. Just comes right back, hits him in the mask.
And out.
Oh,
well,
you can't catch football with your face. Yeah. What kind of video podcast are you doing?
No, his hands will be out, but like,
okay.
Especially, yeah.
So lots of mobility is what you're hoping
gosh.
for. Okay. No, I agree with you. There's got to be some protection on the quarterback. Absolutely. That's a big deal. Mine is protect the ball because the giveaways. We got to stop turning the ball over.
That'd be nice. I mean, it's hard to say because it's a different quarterback now. So
yeah, absolutely. That is part of it, but still, I mean, it's getting a little chillier out there. Make sure you're hanging onto the ball. Don't be fumbling it, and making sure that you're catching the ball if it hits you in the hands. Like no push-ups. Mm-hmm. Let's if we can go that way, I think we might have a decent shot. I do think though that it's going to be interesting to see if our front seven can get some pressure on Cody Fajardo too, because he hasn't had too many games where he's had to deal with a ton of pressure. So hopefully that will change that up a little bit.
I'm quite interested to see this roster coming out.
Yeah.
Do you think, is there a potential if Josh is okay that he could potentially replace the Money Hunter in that position?
Well, it depends on if one of the corners is ready to go.
Right.
Well, you said Arjun should be coming back.
Well,
possibly,
he possibly could be, but we don't know for sure, right?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
Just,
like,
the roster's going to be...
We're going to have to wait and see who else is going to be available.
Because at this
around.
point, I think punishment and discipline has to be like instilled. Because
well, to be fair, I mean, Moss did bench Tavares for the rest of that game after he got the 15-yard unnecessary roughness.
Yeah.
So is that going to happen again, or are they going to switch some people around? I can tell you, Taekwon Glass had played a hell of a game last game.
He sure did.
It's true.
Yep,
he's making a case
all over that field. Yeah. Yep.
Making a case to be in there for sure.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Which player are you watching, Kayla? Don't say all of them, and you can't say all of them either.
I was laughing because I was going to say I want to see who's not going to be there. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I believe in chances, but I'm afraid my chances have run out with one said person. I really hope Josh is going to come back. Josh Johnson.
Yep.
So if he does, because he was at healthy scratch. So I'm hoping it's just a little twinge. Mm-hmm. But I really like how he's playing. I really like how he's growing. And I'm very curious of how they're going to control that backfield with the Riders and Cody throwing like mad.
Right.
So.
All right.
Yeah.
Super fan.
I'm going to be watching Trevor Harris. I want to see how his chemistry is after being off for so long. And he apparently had these issues starting with the Winnipeg game before Labor Day. And that's, coincidentally when we started our losing streak. So,
right.
Or certainly our rough patch. So
yeah.
If he can get to that sort of first 6 games of the season chemistry with the team, I think we can do some really great things.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to be keeping my eye on Mondo this week because a lot of that pressure coming up the middle at Mondu even.
There you go.
The pressure coming up the middle is going to be huge. If they can flush Cody, can they make him feel a little uncomfortable?
I'm wondering who's going to be beside him.
Yeah. Beside Mondo? Yeah,
between Mondu?
Like Stephen Charles?
Perhaps. I'm just wondering if he's up to speed yet.
Oh, it'll be interesting to see if that's a possibility or not. But
this roster's very interesting.
Yeah, this depth chart's going to be nuts this week. So
that's what it's called. Thank you.
I definitely want to see. I want to see Mondo get some pressure. I think if Cody Fajardo has time, he has some talented receivers and he's finding them. So we got to give him less
time.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, prop bet this week. Kayla, we never let you pick a stat. Do you want to pick a stat to do the prop bet on?
Yeah, I can.
All right.
What, though, is another thing?
All right, well, just pick one stat.
We can go back to it if we do the other ones. And
what haven't we done?
So many things.
So many things. You could do receiving yards by a specific receiver. You can do the one I had written down in case was linebacker tackles. So basically any tackle by any linebacker, and you just add them all together.
Number of times Andrew throws up his heads and yells push-ups.
That's not as measurable as we'd like it to be, but that would be funny.
Sometimes it's too measurable.
Just has binoculars on you the whole game.
Looking at me the whole time. Yeah.
Who are you watching this game? Andrew.
So I keep saying, take that guy off the field.
Because we already did throwing yards by Harris, right?
Like way
back
we have
in
done
the
that.
season.
Yes. Yeah, we have done that. Do you want time to think about it?
Yeah, I think I like the linebacker tackles, but I'll take a few.
Okay, we'll come back to it. Let's pick the rest of the games. In the league right now, Derek has a huge lead. Archley is starting to make a push, though, to come back up to chase him. Mike, you're at 13th. I am at
4-0.
30th. Yeah.
And still not making any
Guess
ground.
what I had this week? My very first 4-0 week.
Oh,
nice.
let's both go.
Crazy. Look at that, eh?
Were your very first?
That's the first this year, yeah. Wow. This year, I have not had a 4-0. I've had lots of 3-1s, but never had a 4-0 this year. That's why I'm in 30th. Yeah.
I want to be that.
Hey, you're in the top 30.
I am. Perfect. Yay.
I'm so enthusiastic.
It's better than being in the 40s. I'm working my way down. Slowly but surely. I was 33 last week, I think, so I'm slowly...
Yeah, exactly.
Slowly getting there. All right. First game we get to pick this week, Calgary versus Winnipeg, the rematch. This one is in Winnipeg. Kayla, who are you picking?
Oh, dear. Oh, you know, I really wanted... I'm glad I didn't. I wanted to go with Winnipeg last week.
Yeah.
And I thought perhaps they might have stuck it out because it was a close game. For the last... Anyway,
and then they kept
and
playing
then
that
quarterback. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then that happened, and we'll just not discuss.
Again, they had a chance to
37-33, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They had a chance to come back and win it.
Yep,
they sure did.
Certainly did.
And then they coached themselves.
Yes.
Well, and that's the thing is, insane. Like, they have the potential. It's there, clearly, because they got that close in Calgary, and that's no easy feat.
Absolutely.
But, oh, God... Are they actually going to play Strevler, or do they not?
We don't know yet.
We won't know until the day before.
Like, do they have anyone besides Caleros right now?
Well,
Bennett is the other.
Came in.
Yeah, but...
How many do they have? Like 5 quarterbacks?
Well, no, they only have 3 that are around as far as I know, but... Because Nichols is out.
Yeah.
So...
You know... I'd like the Bombers to win, especially since it's in Winnipeg. That might help, but I can't see, I can't see it. I know.
I've never seen somebody struggle with CFL pick'ems so much. Like, you really are. It's
Heart
like
and head
anguish is going on. Yes.
It is.
Odds.
Yes.
Frustrating to be in my head. Calgary, like I can't see Winnipeg pulling it out.
That's fair. Superfan?
Yeah, the way they're going through quarterbacks in Winnipeg right now, I don't know if Coloros is ready, and I don't know physically, even if he is ready, if he's going to stand up to the pressure that Calgary is going to bring.
Yeah, probably.
Regardless of who the quarterback is, whether it's their third string, fourth string guy at this point, whether it's Strevler, who is clearly wounded, and even if he's back in, isn't going to be 100%, or if it's going to be Coloros, so who hasn't really played this year other than the first 3 games. So Calgary's bringing the pressure. I don't see Winnipeg escaping that, and they haven't had a ton of success on much other than the sort of mostly running the ball. So I got to go with Calgary on this one too. I think they find a way.
I have a question. Do you think, now that the Eskimos have crossed over, and I know they're fighting kind of for first still, but do you think I know you get the bye with winning first, but for Winnipeg, is it absolutely essential at this point to play Strevler when you could give him a couple, like put him on the injured? I was going to say injured reserve. This is an NFL, Kayla.
No, but the 1 game list, you mean?
Yeah, to give him a break and some healing time, and just take that third place option and try to come back healthier.
You don't even need to put him on the 1 game. You can keep him as your third string if you want.
But just not to play him if he's hurt and really bad, and just keeping you out of complete Grey Cup contention because now you've got nobody. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's a possibility. The thing is do they even have a shot where they can get second still?
Yes.
I think so. They're going to play to try and get a home playoff game.
And I know, and I get that.
I can't remember. I'm going to have to look at this.
Depending how Saskatchewan does, doesn't it?
Yeah, Saskatchewan still has 2 games left, but I think they have the season series with Winnipeg. So.
Yes, they do. Yeah, I know they do. So maybe they don't.
Yeah, maybe they are stuck.
Maybe they are stuck in third. So.
Well, and at that point, then just I would start resting some people.
So Calgary it is for all of us.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy. Yeah. Okay, next one is Hamilton versus Montreal. This one in Montreal, a preview of possibly the East Final.
Nope.
All right. Who do you have in that game, Superfan?
Oh, I think this is going to be probably the game of the week.
I hope so.
For, pick 'em anyway, because obviously the game of the week's our game.
Yes, of course.
I think this is going to be a tough one. It's in Montreal. I think you're going to see some teams sort of resting. You're going to be a lot more vanilla, knowing you may have to play each other in the playoffs because they're going to totally discount us, and that'll bite them.
I like that.
And they'll be sorry when we represent the East.
That won't they?
Yes. You know what? Montreal has just been outplaying what most people expect of them this year.
Yeah.
I think this could be the upset right here.
Oh, wow. You're going to go with Montreal in this one. All right, then. I am going to go with Hamilton. I think that they want to show we're going to win, and it's going to be scary to play us at home. So I'm going to go with the Tiger Cats on this one. With our pick'em records, though, I'm sure everyone will know what to do with that as soon as I say Hamilton. All right, Kayla?
Well, I think I also will just go with the Owls. We'll put that up. And I think because Hamilton has now broken their franchise record, they don't have to show or prove to anybody anything anymore. Montreal wants to keep what they have going.
I agree.
I think that it would be smart for Hamilton to start resting some people, not to the fullest extent of an entire game, but you want to be very careful of how you play. And I know you have that extra bye week, but I love watching Montreal play this year. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, no, they're exciting. They're very exciting to watch, for sure.
Yeah, I'm picking the Owls.
All right, then. Next game is the very exciting battle of Ottawa versus Toronto.
The other game of the week.
In Toronto, absolutely. It's going to be amazing. I'm going the Argos in this game. I've liked what I've seen. Like, Will Arndt hasn't been horrible as a Ottawa quarterback.
Clearly in marketing.
Like, he has
come to the game. He's not horrible.
Not horrible. He's been okay. But I think Toronto's still got it. This sounds funny. A little few more weapons on offense.
A little few more.
and that's why I think Toronto pulls this one out. Kayla?
I don't feel any indigestion today, so
Excellent.
There's no funny feelings that Ottawa may win.
Okay.
So I, too, will pick the Argos.
Excellent. Superfan?
The best thing that's come out of the Ottawa area in the last little while is Michaela getting married from Mouchoir.
Yes, congratulations.
To her and Josh
absolutely.
on that. That's fantastic. The play on the field, on the other hand, has not been stellar.
No.
They are sort of trying to work their way up to average at this point, and they got a ways to go. So... you know what? I think that people have really been discounting McLeod Bethel-Thompson. I thought he's been playing quite well. His numbers look outstanding.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And if you haven't seen John Hodge's tweet from Blue Bomber Talk, some interesting stuff where he was showing some stats and said McLeod Bethel-Thompson. Everyone goes, "Oh, he's terrible." Actually, those are Bo Levi Mitchell's numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh,
my. Yeah, that was pretty.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
Don't at me.
Exactly. Yeah, or go ahead. Yeah. All right. What's our stat that we're going to pick on here, Kayla?
I'm going to stick with the linebacker tackle.
All right. So
that's
total
fun.
linebacker tackles for any of the line. Now, we're going to say the main three.
Yes.
Dean, Unamba, Santos Knox.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Add those all together.
Okay.
The line I am going to set.
What happens? Are you talking about that position or just those players? Like if
those three players.
Diggs comes in.
That's why I just said we're going to go with those three players.
Okay. Those three players
so
are
not the
him.
Will or linebacker, it's specifically Santos
Those
Knox.
three.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Those three. So we will go with... okay. Now I'm rethinking my line. Yeah, I'm going to go with 11.5.
Ooh, I was going to say 11.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh, no, like just as the line.
You have to have a half, though, so 11.5.
No, I know.
Yeah. All right, so over or under?
Oh, gosh. I'll be optimistic and say over.
All right. Superfan?
I'm definitely saying over. I think Larry Dean's had a phenomenal year.
Yes.
He could be good for 8 or 9 himself, and we've seen both Unama and Santos Knox doing quite well. I'm definitely taking over.
Okay. I am going to go under. I think our secondary makes a lot of tackles this game.
You don't think they're going to run the ball much?
I think they'll run it a bit, but I think the front four will be on that part. But I think a lot of those tackles are going to come in the secondary. That's my guess. So I'll go under this week. All right, CFPN Fantasy League. I go up to 12-7, and I do lock up a playoff spot. And you truly did get the free space against Ryan this week, as he did not pick at all, which gives you the win.
That definitely does. It was a weird week.
Yeah, it was very odd.
What happened?
I made my picks, and then I was watching during the second game and going, where'd all my picks go? So, yeah, I was a little... I mean, thank goodness I still had 2 games left to pick from. But,
all the games that I picked from were on Saturday, so it was fine for me. Yeah. So they were all there.
But, I mean, it kept my defense. But that's all it kept.
Yeah.
Odd.
So I wasn't sure if Ryan picked and they just didn't record his as well, or what.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very weird.
Yeah. Did you try resetting it?
Did I turn it off and on again?
Yeah.
The internet? No, I did not.
Nice.
You know how many times I have to do shot you suck?
Nice. So this week I get Rod from the Wood Cookie podcast, who is fighting for a playoff spot. So that is going to make a very interesting battle for me. I will try and help you out there if I can.
There you go.
And then you get BC Lions Den, who's on vacation.
I know.
Who likely won't be paying as much attention. Geez, you might get another.
He's on his anniversary trip. Yeah,
I know.
Don't remind him.
Yeah. So
of the picks, not the.
Correct.
Of his anniversary?
Yeah. He knows the anniversary part. That's all good. So, it'll be an interesting week as we get close to the playoffs there in the Fantasy League. In our Empire League, Baltic Fox still has that comfortable lead. I'm up to 3rd, and you're up to 26th.
Woo! See, inside the top 30.
Top 30. Nice.
That's a great name.
Well
Baltic
done.
Fox. I like that.
Yeah, it is kind of an interesting one, isn't it? I have no idea who it actually is. Hopefully they will contact me
what
so
if
that
it was
I...
me?
Oh, you know who it is?
Yep.
Oh, thank goodness.
Dang it.
Okay.
I was going to play that.
No.
What if it's me? Mike's like, no.
Yeah.
Nope, not you, because I know who it is. Yeah.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah, you do not look like him.
I'm the French fox.
There we go. Le Renard.
Oh, I hope you join next year and use that name. That would be outstanding.
Retire commish.
That's that. We might have to call you that from now on. And joining us tonight is Le Renard.
Hello.
Hunted with only her cunning to protect her.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's all Wayne's World.
Something like that, yes. All right, well, thanks, guys. Thanks for coming down. And we do want to say thanks again to Chris Presson and to Travis from 2 and Out for joining us for this week's show. Tell everyone where they can find you guys on the Twitters.
Oh, I'll go first then. Le Renard.
Very nice.
At Duchess Lombardi, and you can catch my photos at Esks Empire Photo.
Beautiful.
You can find me at 56 Parkies, and of course the history segment at Esks History.
Perfect. And you can find me at Free Pelicious, and of course the show at Esks Empire Pod. Make sure you're following Pay It Forward with Football on Facebook and get those nominations in. The deadline again for the Grey Cup nominations is October 31st, so that's next week. So make sure that you are getting those all in. Check out again all the great shows on the Alberta Podcast Network at albertapodcastnetwork.com. And of course find us on and all of our social channels on eskempire.ca. You can find all the old shows there as well. We will be back next week, and we will be getting in a sociable mood with Jerry Harashi from the Spirit of Edmonton. Love when he comes down here and gives us the kind of inside track, that too, inside track on what's going to be happening at the Spirit of Edmonton, of course at the breakfast and at the parties at Grey Cup. So one of our favorite guests.
Absolutely.
Very excited to have him back, and of course we'll be talking about a big win. So, is it time to find an edge on defense without penalties?
Absolutely.
For Commissioner Kayla and Superfan Mike, I'm Andrew. Remember, you can't catch footballs with your face, and we will absolutely talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening. Find more great shows like this at CF Pod Network on Twitter.